All right. So no video of my face or anything today because we don't have two cameras, and she just got a nightcap on. But she's the one that brought this to my attention. Now normally we don't do talk about stuff across the pond or across the pond's pond or the land of what's across the pond. We don't normally do that because it don't really matter. Really, it don't. And this necessarily don't matter in a sense, but this is about Britain and how they treat their dual princesses. And at the same time, y'all might just dislike this because the reason it's kind of important is because, think of all the things said about minorities who are here and about where they come from. So this would be talking about the majority and where they come from. This is about, if I'm correct, Britain. Mm-hmm. And this is about the royalty, since, the royalty decided we're not going to, was it Meghan? Mm-hmm. She decided, you know what, we're going to just leave. And we're going to go to the United States. We're going to go back to Britain. We're going to go back and forth, because the high life and all this other stuff is just too much. That's what others are feeding into it. That's what they're saying. But no one understands what might have actually been going on. And a few years before this, there was enough reports about, the differences of Britain, the things that make somebody like us know that we probably should not go there. And so this is when this kind of feeds into what Sidra was saying and reporting about and I know it's a thing with Buzzfeed, but they're the ones that broke this, and they did a compare and contrast on how the princesses are treated, how they're treated in the tabloids and news articles and media. So this is Kate versus Meghan. And we'll just start with, I think, who's to start with, Kate or whatnot?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll let you go ahead and do this right here.
So I don't keep up with the royal family stuff because I don't care. It was interesting that, Harry was marrying a mixed woman. I thought that was very interesting when it happened. And Harry's a cutie. I wished him well, and that was about it. So when I saw, I don't know if it was on Facebook or somewhere, that they were opting to step away from royal life and move to North America, I was like, okay, that's interesting. I hope they move to Canada. Don't come here. They don't need to be here, but I guess they're coming in the U.S. And so today, it was an article that I'm having a hard time finding, the original article where it was talking about how race had something to do with why they left. And so BuzzFeed did an article comparing, let me make sure I get it right. Here are 20 headlines comparing Meghan Markle to Kate Middleton that may show why she and Prince Harry are cutting off royal reporters. So the British journalists have been terrible to Meghan since she, married Harry. I think that's the one. Married Harry. And so I'm just going to read too.
I want to say something. It just hit me. I remember when they did get married, and over here they all talked about how she was marrying into money. She was just greedy. She was poor and broke and just wanted the money. I remember hearing that here.
But she wasn't poor and broke. She, grew up not far from Compton, but she was an actress. She was doing just fine.
I'm just remembering that.
And, if you marry into royalty, but you marry into some bullshit. Because you basically lose all your freedom.
Yeah.
And living at the whims of the queen.
Yeah. Without any perks. that the queen would get, that is.
So here, I'm going to read just two of them, and I'm choosing two specifically that are short and also show how petty that the British journalists have been being in their sophisticated racism towards Meghan. So this one is regarding Kate, and it says, bumping along nicely, talking about her baby bump. I hate that term, but the Duchess was seen placing a protective hand on her tummy as she exited the event. That was in 2018 in one of Kate's many pregnancies, because I think she had like 4. And here's one about Meghan being pregnant, and it says, personally, I found the cradling a bit like those signs in the back of cars. Baby on board. Virtue signaling, as though the rest of us barren harridans deserve to burn alive in our cars. And this all stems from her cradling her baby bump, just like Kate did a year before, but it was all wonderful and gravy when Kate did it. And when Megan did it, it was annoying because they feel like barren hags.
Some people might ask for context, and I'm like, you don't get any more context than that.
Find the article. I gave you the complete title. Let's see. Now, here's the next one I'm going to read. So, for a little bit of context, I think that whenever Kate gets pregnant, she suffers with horrific morning sickness and nausea and vomiting to the point of having to be hospitalized.
This is Kate.
That's what I said.
Yep, Kate. Just reminding the audience.
So, in this occasion, they're talking about avocado because it references a green fruit. I don't know what they were talking about, but they're talking about avocado. It says Prince William was given one of the green fruit wrapped up in a bow by a little boy whose mother is suffering during her pregnancy too. He said he'd take it to Kate and see what happens and said good luck for the boy's mummy. That was back in 2017. Now, this is about Megan. The pregnant Duchess of Sussex and so-called avocado on Toast Whisperer is wolfing down a fruit linked to water shortages, illegal deforestation, and all-around general environmental devastation.
So someone wants toast, and it's a good thing that someone can give it to their mummy. And then the other, I like some avocado. So you just want to burn the forest and just kill us all with dehydration, right? It's like, at that point you can just look and say, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, so, two women, they're both married to princesses.
Yeah, the princesses are married to princes.
Thank you. My tongue's not working this morning. They're royalty. They're both sons of Diana. So what is the only difference in this situation? Meghan Markle's half black.
And here's the thing: when you grow up in an area of privilege, you're like, maybe Meghan did something wrong, or you'll say, well, maybe just Kate did everything right, and then I have to say your privilege is racism, because it takes a blind fool to even think anything remotely like that. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, and look, people. I'm not even upset with Kate. She's innocent.
It's not Kate's fault.
I'm not upset with Meghan. She's innocent. I'm not upset with their husbands. They are innocent. I'm not upset with the Queen. She's innocent. It's all about how society views you based on the color of your skin and or your ethnic background. And if that ain't enough, just who you hung around when you were younger and also who you hang around now. They will use any and everything to spew their hatred. One place talked about, just blatantly said that, her child was a chimp.
Yeah, he was fired, the one who said that. But
that was just so blatant they couldn't. It's like, look, we can't cover that one up. We got to get rid of that.
But why the hell would you stay around that if you have the capacity to not? And they have the ability to withdraw and move somewhere else. Most folks don't, but they're rich, they're royal, they are privileged, and as you would think, them being in this position that they wouldn't be exposed to all that, but they are, and so they're having to walk away from royal life just to have some semblance of peace and continue to live their lives and create their family, and that's fucked up because she didn't do anything but just be.
Yeah, just exist.
And those two examples, at least it shows you that she didn't do anything. It was just they're being petty betties. Just because she's half black. They found anything to denigrate and ostracize.
This is how I see it. Okay, this is, I'm not stating a fact. This is literally just a thought. Okay, so if these reporters from these areas of media decide to jump on her and just denigrate Meghan, their audience won't feel like they are black sympathizers. And a lot of you might say, well, look, you got Idris Elba and you got this one other dude that are rich and wealthy and make movies and whatnot in Britain and all that other stuff. That too is not talking about all.
And plus, Idris Elba makes movies in Hollywood more than anything else.
Yeah.
And the black women over here love him.
So that makes sense. So I'm throwing it out there, y'all.
No, not just black women, all women.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. Big buff dude with an accent. That's a panty dropper. I don't care what race you are. I don't care how you look. If you got a face that look like a foot, but you make a lot of money and you got some muscle on you and an accent, panty dropper. You want to turn your face like that and be like, I don't know. Notorious B.I.G.
You had a foot for a face.
You had a foot for a body.
Yeah.
And women that used to diss him now writing letters because they miss him.
Because they don't have any standards.
Remember that.
They don't have any standards.
It ain't standards. They got no goddamn integrity. They got no honor. Stick with the shit that you started with. Unless you're like, you know what, I made a mistake and it ain't because of the money. There you go. I can see that. It's like, you know what, I grew up, I matured, I understand things. I was an idiot then. And then we're wrong. But you know what, people? This stuff overseas, that racism, it ain't changed. And it moved over here. White people migrated from somewhere and they brought that racism with them. And that's the thing that they don't want to admit right there. That's the shame.
It's just more thinly veiled over there. They use their colorful words and their accent to dress it up very nicely and mask it. But it is what it is. It's not like over here where the southern white folks come out and just let you know how they feel. And,
hang a kid. Legitimately hang a kid that's trying to be their friend. And this ain't all white people. I'm not going to sit here and blanket that mess. No. I'm not, because that's stupid. You ain't gonna say all white people, but as I always say, there's no way I can call out every individual white person that's not racist. It's just, no, I'll be here all day. I'm not gonna. It's like reciting all the states and counties from the Animaniacs. I'm not doing it. So this is how it is. This is how life is, and it's not right, and it can all be changed with a simple thought led by actions. That's it. You got your actions that say, I'm not going to be this way. Your thoughts that says, I'm going to reinforce not being this way. Let that cycle. Let that become the new circle jerk. I'm not going to be a racist. I'm going to not act like a racist. So when someone calls me a racist, I can say, no, I'm not. You shut up. And you will then be in the right. And I don't care if you're white or black. You think you black, you can be a racist. That's just it. You can. And I've met enough. And I ain't like them then. I don't like them now. That's simple as that. But this all comes from somewhere. And I'm going to say this to y'all racists, y'all Southerners and Arizonans and people like that. All your red state loving people. You want black people to go back to Africa. Two things. First, take us back to Africa and then go back to Britain.
Or Italy, or Ireland.
Italy, Ireland, all over Europe. Go back to where you came from.
Wherever you came from.
Go back to where you came from. This ain't, because it's not right. Kate, not mad at her, because she ain't done nothing. It's their media. And their media ain't nearly as vicious as ours. Not nearly. They got clever words. We simply got, you're poor, you're disadvantaged.
They just blatantly lie. They just lie and keep lying until it's the
This is
truth.
America. We don't correct ourselves. We just keep lying until everyone accepts it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. So with that said, she's gonna get more sleep. I'm gonna eat these potato wedges. I might share one. I don't know. I'm not feeling so generous because they came out looking good.
I'm just gonna take it.
You can't just take it.
Yeah, that's it.
I made these.
I know. See, look.
No. You reaching? Now I gotta hold her hand. All right. But it's me licking me. It's been Sedrik and Sidra for Comparative Reasoning. Leave your comments, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Thank you for listening.